Dealing with sorrow. Accept it. Do not give up. So hi, this is Chris Theodore. The next thing that I'm going to talk about, where's my orange pen? My famous orange pen that nobody's talking about. There you are. Escaping one's mediocrity, which I know a lot about. The desire to, that is. Yeah, I do know a lot about that, but I don't know if I know any more. Oh, well, yes, I do know more than some people, and some people know more about it than me. But that shouldn't keep me from sharing my truth, right? I think about escaping one's mediocrity, why that can, mediocrity, feeling mediocre, you know, maybe that isn't the problem. Maybe the problem is being mediocre and refusing to acknowledge it or to face it, right? That's probably the problem. Seeking to flee mediocrity, I think the number one thing to do, what did I say? I'm pretty sure I said accept it. No, don't accept it. Commitments, yeah. Refuse. Refuse to be mediocre. And I don't want to sound preachy because what I believe is that we all have a tendency, I know I have a tendency to be mediocre, something that I struggle with, right? The key is to be honest when it comes to feelings of mediocrity, and not only be honest about them, but don't stay there. Don't accept that this is my reality, right? Because that is the total lazy response to such a feeling. Because we could have a feeling anytime. Anything could make us feel a certain way, and I think the key really is getting into the habit of doing things so that you are less, or let's say, so that one is less and less mediocre. A super important, super simple way to do that is to keep our commitments and start out small. Start out with one thing that you say, I'm going to do this, and then you do it. And what happens in my life, what has happened, is a tiny little bit of self-respect, a little increase in self-respect, so that your identity starts to shape. And then what's very exciting is that you say, hey, I'm actually the sculptor here. Why? Because I've kept a commitment, and I feel a little differently about myself. And that is a very exciting feeling. This sense of authorship. I am the sculptor. I am the author of my life, and for good or for bad. But taking that responsibility is a big deal, and never dismiss that part of the grandeur of existence, that the authorship power you have by simply being alive in this reality. Other ideas about escaping mediocrity, like the mediocrity of having the line showing. Maybe you don't even see that. So embarrassing and shameful. Self-respect, identity identity shaping and evolution. Okay, I will kind of segue into the other thing that I was going to talk about, because it's a part of it, which is incremental improvement. Like, for me, one of the things that I can get caught up with is wishing for a vision to be realized, but not being okay with small incremental advances towards that. So what's weird is that while anyone can be disappointed, one can also simply be excited about the fact that, hey, I can make small incremental improvements, and that's okay, right? The whole thing about incremental improvements, it's not like it's a cop-out of, this isn't, you're not asking very much of yourself. I think why that isn't a cop-out is because so much of excellence and escaping mediocrity comes down to small advances, and here's the thing, consistency, right? Consistency is the key in investing, in relationships. It's the consistency that is awesome. It's the consistency in our work that brings us to some place beyond mediocrity. It's the consistency of our failures that keeps us in mediocrity. So don't be discouraged about small incremental improvements, right? Because they tend to compound, and that can be incredibly self-reinforcing and very exciting. Because I know all about this. Now, anyway, I know some things about this.